Evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope you have all had a great day. Yeah, Thursdays. So this is going to be slightly different tonight. You're used to me coming on a Thursday evening, rambling on about whatever sort of subject or topic we decide to talk about. Yeah, and just, having a chat about anything. But tonight is my last Thursday evening. And the reason being is at Community Courtyard and at the Yard, we are moving over to our autumn programme. And instead of me doing this Thursday night session, from next week, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me in the daytime. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I am going to be doing an opal table tea and toast. Now that's going to be at 10:30 every morning. And initially, it's going to be like this. You guys are going to be able to watch me online. Next week, it's going to probably be done from my home, and I'll be broadcasting to you this way. The following week, I'm hoping to be actually in the Yard, in the building. And once again, you'll be able to join in with the conversations and the tea and toast mornings in an online version. However, we're really hoping that by the following week, that's when you guys are going to be able to come down and join in a physical sense with tea and toast. Now, next week, I'll talk a bit more about that, because what we will be asking people to do is to book into those sessions, as we have to make sure that we're COVID compliant. But we'll speak about that more next week. But yeah, so next week, autumn programme, it's really exciting. Things are changing, and hopefully, little by little, we'll start to get a little bit of normality back, while still making sure that we're compliant with COVID all the way. What my plan is for my tea and toast mornings, we're going to have a different theme every morning, and these themes are going to run for the whole of the autumn term, and hopefully we'll cover loads and loads of really interesting topics and things that are relevant to you guys, because my role at Community Courtyard and at the Yard is I am working more with community and families. Luke is more of the youth side of things, and hence why you're going to be seeing more of me in the day, because although the children have gone back to school, there's still you guys at home. So yeah, that's going to be my role, really, is sort of interacting with you guys. The children are off back to school. Some of you might be finding that difficult or very easy. But yeah, that's what I'll be really interested to find out from you guys with regards to topics and things. I've got a rough idea. I'm doing lots of planning at the moment, trying to work out what we're going to do. But any suggestions or ideas are always very welcome. So yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me. I apologise. I apologise now. I may be waffling all the time. I find these things very nervous. So yeah, hopefully the more I do, the more comfortable I'll get and the less waffling I'll do. I can't promise though. So tonight's just going to be slightly different, because in addition to the open table tea and toast that I'll be running, something else that I'm going to be running within our autumn programme is called a pop-up happiness course. Now, for those of you who've watched me over the past few weeks or even months now, I've been talking to you about happiness and different ways of being happy. And I told you guys that I was actually undergoing some training around happiness. And yeah, what we're now doing is putting together our own pop-up happiness course. So that's something I'm really excited about. And you're going to be hearing lots and lots more about that over the next coming weeks. But what I thought tonight we'd do is just to finish off our Thursday evening session, and just to link in, with what I'm training in at the moment and what we're going to be, delivering at the Yard, is Happy Talk. Now, a few weeks ago, I spoke to you guys about happiness myths. Things that we think make us happy, do they really? And since I've been training and researching and doing all other bits and bobs, I have found some other myths that I thought would be quite interesting to speak to you guys about and see whether you agree or disagree, or it's just interesting to see how our brains work and how our minds work, and how things that we think make us happy or make other people happy, do they really? So I'm going to kick off with myth number 1. So you're born happy or you're not. It's not something you can change. So that's an interesting one. So it may surprise you to know that you have more influence over your happiness than you've probably given yourself credit for. Research has found that between 25 and 35% of your potential for happiness is determined by your genes. So that's only 25 to 35%. So that's not an awful lot. So whether your parents are grumpy all the time or constantly smiling, that doesn't have a huge impact on how you feel. Equally, what school you go to, what work you do, your age, gender, and where you live, that only accounts to 10 to 15%, which means that's around 50% left of happiness that is determined by yourself. So that's how you view events, how you react to them, and how you approach the world can all affect how happy you feel. So 50% is a huge amount. So, we have a real hand in whether we choose to be happy or whether we try feel that or you experience it. Back to experience. I'm not sure if you lost me there, guys. I'm going to start because I'm new, so you can bear with me here. This is all new to me. I'm using something new that I don't normally use. And I'm back. Bear with me. I keep losing connection. I'm going to start myth 2 again in case you lost me. So happiness is all strive for and reach for. So do you ever feel that if you achieve a certain award or buy a particular product, then you'll be happy? You can pursue a moment of happiness and experience it, but once that burst of pleasure is over, you're back to how you felt before. That's very similar to, when people say that shopping makes them happy. I mean, retail therapy makes us so happy in the moment, but when you get home and you realize how much money you've spent on all those bags you've got, and do you even really like what you've got there, you can have often that happiness leaves you quite quickly, doesn't it? So studies have shown that although lottery winners experience an initial boost in happiness, within a year they return to their original levels. So true happiness doesn't come with rainbows and fireworks, but instead stems from a calmer sense of contentment and lasting joy, because it's an ongoing process that continues throughout a person's lifetime. So I guess that's really interesting, because I think we all think, oh my gosh, if I was to win the lottery, or, if I was to get that or this, that's it, I'd be forever happy. But apparently not so. But, I'm sure a lot of us wouldn't mind winning the lottery just to test that theory out. I know I wouldn't. Okay, so myth 3. To be happy, you can never be sad. So everyone is sad and stressed sometimes. That's just normal life. Nothing is perfect for everybody. Even the annoying person who seems to be the happiest person in the world, it's important to understand this emotion too, because by knowing how sadness and difficulties feel, you can appreciate joy and contentment a lot more. So experiencing sorrow and anguish and learning to overcome them with methods such as mindfulness or practicing gratitude for all the positivity in your life will mean you are better able to cope with life's challenges. That's an interesting one. I think sometimes we can become very caught up in the negatives, and we need to appreciate sometimes, we don't appreciate sometimes what we've got, and it's very easy to be negative and be down. But having those emotions allows us to feel the happiness as well. So it's a catch-22, isn't it? It's a difficult one. So myth number 4, it's selfish to think about your own happiness. So lots of people have the view that focusing on your own happiness must mean you're selfish. If this was the only thing a person thought about, then maybe. However, happy people spread happiness. One idea called the 3 degrees of influence suggests your positive, happy attitude and actions rub off not only on your friends, but also on their friends, and in turn, their friends. So make sure you look after yourself, and next time you're feeling happy, let the world know. Remember, however, if you're stressed or in a bad mood, those around you can see or feel that mood too. So that's another thing. How often, I know it's happened to me, lots of times, you could be feeling quite down or, feeling fed up or just in a bad mood, and you meet up with a friend and they're buzzing and positive and happy. And it does rub off. You do end up feeling a lot happier, and I think it picks you up. Sometimes I think a lot of people, myself included, it's very, very easy to wallow in our own just in our own unhappiness. Hi Laurel, sorry, I've just seen your messages. I didn't know how to see them on here. I'm not stuck anymore. Am I all good? Can you see me? So yeah, it's very easy to wallow, but sometimes that's when you're feeling at your lowest or perhaps your unhappiest. It's good to get out and see people because they lift your spirits and they bring you up, and that's how happiness rubs off on each other. Okay, last one, myth number 5. Many people, when they are truly happy. Oh, I'm back again. I keep cutting out, don't I? Sorry, guys. So many people have experienced a moment and suddenly panic that it won't last and life will take a turn for the worse. Sadly, some also think that if they get themselves from any hurt and pain that might come their way. They live life to the full because they spend too much time worrying about what could go wrong in the future to ruin their happiness. If this ever happens, consider all the things you have to be thankful for, compared to whatever you're worrying about. Those fearful feelings while supporting the joy you're experiencing. And research shows practicing gratitude increases and deepens the happiness you experience. So yeah, personally, I don't have that feeling that if I feel happy, then something's bound to happen. That's not one that I struggle with or tend to worry about that. But I know that a lot of people do, especially if you feel like you've had a run of bad luck and then something great happens and you feel happy and then you feel like, oh gosh, this is all going to go wrong again. I think it's really all about embracing the happiness as and when it's there and enjoying that moment and not worrying about whether that's then going to mean that something bad is going to happen after. But then you're losing that lovely happiness, you're losing that lovely feeling, you're losing that moment. And want to really relish in those when we can, because there's a lot of tough times in life, isn't there? And there's a lot of hard times, and so if we get those moments of pleasure and happiness, it's really important to embrace them, and just enjoy the happiness whilst you can. So yeah, that was the 5 myths. Let me know what you think about that. Do any of them relevant to you? Do any of you guys suffer, deal with any of those? Do you think that you guys think some of that, or you just are happy and you don't worry about anything else? Whatever your views are, I'm really interested to hear, because everyone's different and everyone deals with things in different ways. But yeah, so pop-up happiness course. So this is all this is just a snippet of what's going to be going on with our pop-up happiness, and I'm looking forward to chatting to you guys a lot more about all the different elements of happiness and the ways in which we can help ourselves and bring greater joy to our lives, so to speak. So that's it for me tonight. So this is my last Thursday night. So the next time you are going to see me is going to be Tuesday morning, 10:30, at my Open Table Tea and Toast. So it'll be on all our social media and it'll be online, like I said, next week. Yeah, and perhaps next week we could have a discussion around what sort of topics interest you and what things you think would be good for us to talk about each week, because there's, you know, so many different things going on. You know, I think it would be great to speak about some local things. For obviously we're based in Northampton, and also some just, you know, other sort of generic issues and things that people would like to have a chat about. So yeah, that's it from me tonight. I hope you all keep safe. Yeah, sticking to the 6 rule. It's feels, I don't know about you guys, I feel a little bit like Groundhog Day. It's a little bit of a here we go again, but we've got to do it because the virus hasn't gone away, and we really, I'm sure I can speak on behalf of all of us. We really want to be able to have a good Christmas, and I think it's only by following the rules now that we are going to be able to do that. So yeah, just a reminder, if any of you need face masks, we have loads at the yard. Just give us a shout. And yeah, just take care, stay safe, be sensible, and have a great weekend. And I will see you all next week. Bye.